Welcome to another special from the Daytime Emmys. This is our digital drama special. I'm James Lott Jr., one of your hosts from JLJ Media, and I brought most of our crew with us. You guys love so much. Thank you so much for watching our videos and saying you like them and you love us together. And I thank you. I really appreciate it. I just cobbled them together, and it seemed to work. It all worked. So below me, I think it's below me, there's only one, Miss Lacretia Lyon. Hi, Lacretia.
Hey, guys.
I see you all the time now because we're doing the other show.
Yeah, I know.
See you all the time again. And then my buddy to the, I guess he's to the left or right of me, however you look at this screen. I'm talking to him a lot too these days also, Gerry Waggett. Hi, Gerry.
Hey, James. How you doing?
Good. And unfortunately, Walker Ragsdale, who's rounds out our trio, couldn't make it because of last-minute work stuff, but the shade will happen still, trust me. His honor. And I just
we'll try.
And yesterday, realized that we've been friends for 4 years. That was our anniversary yesterday.
Wow.
I didn't even know that, in 4 years. And I know Lacretia was 6 at this point. I memean, we met a long time ago. She was sick.
Yeah.
Didn't even know it. I interviewed her. Didn't even know it. And then Gerry.
I was like, oh, God.
And then Gerry, I found you last year, I think?
Yeah, last summer.
Last summer.
I think it was the first time we connected, yeah.
Oh, it's been a year. Oh, my God, it's been a year. I'm funny. It's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a year.
I hooked you all in. That's it. Gerry, that's it. So the digital Emmys were last night, folks, and you can watch them on Emmys.tv. That's how you're able to watch them. And I'm going to ask everybody on the panel, overall, it was very quick, too. That's what I kind of liked. It was like less than an hour. What do you guys think? So, Lacretia, I'll start with you. What did you think overall?
Yeah, like, I just kind of, glanced through it, and because I was in the car, as usual. So, yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, that was something. They did it quickly. To me, I do get that this is sort of the way of, award shows now. And the big time productions, even for Oscars, are going to go the way of the dodo. And so something like this where, it is a digital series Emmys, it makes sense that it would just be digital and just like that. But so it's like, hey, it's great we're even getting an award show.
That's true. No, Alicia, I didn't even think about that. Actually, it is a digital Emmy version. I guess being digital was kind of made sense. I didn't even think about that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Gerry, what'd you think overall?
I actually liked it. And I have to tell you that for being the digital Emmy show, I was surprised at just how much more interactive and alive it was than the Daytime Emmys that we had back last month. And I like the fact that they got the people and hooked up on cameras, that they were there kind of live. I know there were some technical glitches. You accept that, but you could tell what they were doing. And I like the fact of, that you actually got to talk to the people who won, not just get a pre-prepared statement. And it moved very quickly. You got through all the major awards and very few commercial breaks. I enjoyed it more than I did the actual Daytime Emmys.
I have to agree. I'm like, okay. This was, if there was no technical difficulties, I saw what they were doing. It would have been perfect the way they did it. I love the fact that, I know it all depends. It depends on everybody's Wi-Fi's. Depends on everybody's. There were some awkward moments, but that was because of people's Wi-Fi's. It's kind of, I wish in 2020 we could work all that out. We can send folks to the moon and shit, but you can't get Wi-Fi together. I don't understand what's going on there. But I did like the setup. I thought if everything went the way according to plan, it would have been perfect. And you're right. It was kind of nice seeing all the nominees, the little question answer thing. I wish the thing worked with the round table they had when they brought them on for writers and directors. Obviously didn't work. It was complete. You couldn't hear people and things were happening. So it was a little awkward for Jay Rodriguez. Jay Rodriguez did a great job just for being what he had to do. He looked great.
Yeah, actually, I thought that he did a great job. He was likable, just enough of a sense of humor. And unlike some hosts of these award shows, he didn't get in the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Shady. I love it. No, he didn't. He did fine. I know the beginning was a little technical difficult in the beginning, but then it looked great. Actually, it looked good. The set and everything. I know it's all virtual from Burbank. But I thought it looked good. I thought, okay, and I agree. I think it was better than almost the Daytime Emmys because it was more spontaneous. But I kind of get one's network television. They didn't want any glitches, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I thought that was kind of a shame, and I understand why they did it, but I wish that they had, since they knew they were going to do the Daytime Digital Emmys, that they had given the best of digital show last night. So they had something to build towards, like as the big award at the end of the night. Because they just made the leading actress make it seem like that was the big award at the end of the night. And since it wasn't Susan Lucci after her 19 failures getting an Emmy,
Yeah.
the Actress Award isn't supposed to be the big award at the end of the night.
Yeah, that was odd, like that they did that. And two, like they weren't necessarily upfront about a lot of what was going to be happening. I think was some of it too. Because yes, it's all the digital stuff, but I don't think it was necessarily all of it. There's still a few more awards that are going to be next week. That was the only thing that was just kind of confusing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, next week is children's and animated, I think.
Or something like the rest of the
Yeah.
It's funny because they're supposed to be originally, if you guys remember, it's supposed to be a 3-day event. It's going to literally be 3 days, each night something different. And normally it's 2 days. Normally it's Friday, Sunday.
Yeah.
They're going to do all night. So I guess they decided to follow that and just keep it going. But it was interesting that they added the digital drama series in the main one, almost like saying, well,
Yeah.
we'll give you a little bone, throw you a little bone, and we'll have you in the main one. But you're right, it was kind of weird. Now it seems disjointed to the digital one. Like it's like maybe you should have either put them all in that one, or I would say actually what it probably should have did was done the guest performer in digital drama in the main one, maybe. Because that's kind of like,
Yeah.
and it gives you a little something, and then kept the other one.
Oh, I also love the fact that when they did show commercials, it was all to industry targeted. They're talking about things I'm like, oh, okay, I don't even know what this is or how I would use it.
Yeah, it was very industry, but it was cute though.
Yeah.
I mean, give you a little break, and it literally was done in like 50 minutes. I mean, that was it. I mean, it was in, out, done. So I was like, okay.
Well,
It's
and
like
the
me
reason
watching
they
the
sort of
Daytime Emmys on speed dial or
Right.
speeding through them.
Yes. And what do you say, Lacretia?
I was just going to say, yeah, they pretty well targeted just industry people because that's who they assumed were watching it. But I think the more and more that digital series has become part of the zeitgeist, I'm like, it's not just an inside thing anymore. It's not just actors having fun with each other, making, TV shows in their spare time. People actually watch this.
Good point. Very
Yeah.
good point. And that leads into what Gerry and I would think about talking about anyway, and that is, should digital dramas, because like in the main Emmys, years ago, there was the Cable Ace Awards, and that was all for like the cable stuff. But then they started to fold into the cable stuff, into the main Emmys, HBO, Showtime, all those. And then the streaming services now, Netflix and Amazon are now included too. Should we just have one big Emmys for all the dramas, whether they be digital or on TV?
I'd say yes.
think-
And I mean, why'd you go, Lacretia?
Hey, go, Christian. Yeah, go.
I was just going to say yes as well, because at this point, it is all together. I mean, the network and the way that networks are the big thing, or even cable is the big thing anymore, is just not true. I mean, the most watched shows are typically on Netflix or Amazon Prime, and those were the ones winning the Emmys anyway. Mm-hmm. So now that we've just opened it up to more and more, like, yeah, let's just all put it together.
We also have a precedent already set by the Daytime Emmys for this in the past, when One Life to Live and All My Children, Prospect Park revived them, and you had to get Hulu to watch them. They had some of the actors from those shows competing against actors in the network soap operas. So they're already doing this, or they had already done it and then split off. But I think it would also make a more interesting race, because especially with only 4 soap operas on the air, every year it seems like the same old names coming up over and over again.
Yes, I agree. No, that was my point. Both of you guys agreed. Both of you guys. I think there's only 4 soaps left. Let's make it interesting. Are you going to make it 6 nominees if you want to? Add another extra nominees, do 6. You don't have to have 5. Who says you have to have 5? You have 6. I remember the Emmys one time had 8 women nominated, and lead actress was like a little crazy.
Yeah.
And then the Oscars went to 10 Best Picture. I'm like, you could do that if you wanted to. I mean, you could add a few people in. There's no saying you can't do that. But I feel like, at this point, even though they're not technically daytime, since you decide to put them in daytime, might as well let them compete with daytime.
Well, when you said that the Oscars went up to 10 movies, one of the reasons they did that, well, they want to say to be more inclusive, but on the other hand, they did it as a marketing tool. They know that an Oscar nomination gets people into the theater. And I mean, wouldn't it be a great marketing tool for the Emmys to direct people? I'll tell you that until I was doing the show, I hadn't checked out certain shows and said, wow, this is really good, which you'll find out which one I thought really deserved more than it got.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. I like that. No, it's funny because I was up for some awards last year at an award show, and there were a lot of shows they were showing I didn't know what they were. I was like, and they were good. I'm like, I didn't know the show, and Toll Booth and Fallacies and all these. I'm like, I didn't know. I don't know, Anacostia, all these shows. I mean, some I knew, but there's some I didn't know. And I was just like, oh, okay. And that's the thing. This is a market. This is also marketing. When Emmys, Oscars, Grammys, it's all marketing. Also, it's like usually it's a bump and a rise in someone's product after they've been nominated or on a show. That's kind of the point, right? I mean, that's always the thing. So
yeah, I mean, the big thing is like Emmy nominated goes a lot further than just, hey, this.
Yeah. No, totally. But I think also there's only 4 soaps left. Let's just say all of them, because the acting is all the same, and a lot of them are soap actors.
Are the same people.
The same people. They're a lot of the same people. So like, why not? I mean, like at this point, why not?
And the the Emmy people are also allowing the digital soap operas to compete against the daytime, the network soaps in categories like casting and the technical categories.
So might as well just do it all together.
Yeah.
So I think so. I agree with that. I mean, especially if you're going to condense the young performer ones to one.
Yeah.
We like, okay, you can add. I don't know. We're not trying to tell you what to do, Emmys, of course, Natus, but just listen to us anyway. What's going on? Okay, so we're gonna go to the categories. Just had some comments, and Gerry actually sent me a sheet of his predictions. I had no predictions because I was like, I don't predictions, but he was correct in 4 times. He was correct, so it was very interesting. The first one. Okay, so let me get in here. We have my little stuff here. I have all my notes. Okay. So he did outstanding guest performer in a series. And I'll make sure I read this out because I want to give everybody a little shout outs. And I already had somebody I wanted to win, but he didn't win.
Yeah.
Renee Hager for Dark Web, Mary Beth Peel for After Forever, Scott Turner Schofield, which I wanted him to win so bad, for Studio City, Lynn Shane for Eastsiders, and Graham Sibley for Dark Web. And the winner was Lynn Shay, which you predicted actually, Gerry. And I mean, Eastsiders is good. I mean, I like Eastsiders. I have friends over there. I love Eastsiders. But I was really hoping that Scott Turner Schofield was going to win. Because I just thought.
Me too. Yeah, I love Lynn Shay. She's like a horror movie staple.
Yes, well,
yeah. And she's great. So I was like, I mean, I get it. But yeah, like Scott in that role is just like, it is of the time very much so thing. And he was so great in it.
I agree.
Oh, I thought he was great. In fact, as I put down there, I said it's from a political standpoint, it would have been amazing now, does he use the pronoun he?
Yes.
Okay, so it would have been perfect for him to win. And he was great in that scene. I think it was just, I loved what Lynn Shay did, maybe because also they gave her a little bit more time than he got. He got like one or two scenes to really shine, okay? But yeah, I thought that he did a great job. I also had liked his work when he was briefly in the story on The Bold and the Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
You actually put down Scott's name. You said Lynn and Scott. You put them both down. So
but what she did, she took actually the mother who drinks too much, who comes to town for the son's wedding, and that's what I liked about these guys. It took a lot of these cliche type roles and gave just enough of a spin to give them great depth. And I'll talk about that in a moment.
And I loved her speech. I was like, she was so surprised, and so it's like I always say in my stuff, this is for the old guys. I like when old folks win. I'm like, that's right, bitches. Let them win. They work hard. I mean, she's been around for a long time. They work hard.
Yeah.
And someone gave her a chance to be on the show, and she shined in it. So good for her. I mean, good for her.
Yeah.
That's what I say about that. Like that. That's fun. And again, what they did, if you didn't watch them last night, what they did is they did their speech. Then they actually talked to him for a little bit. So I was kind of, I like you said, Gerry, I like that twist. Then of course you have lead actor. They went that direction. They decided to do lead actor in digital drama. Christos Andrews, the Bay, Alex Hurt, The Rehearsal, Brad James, A House Divided, Sean Kanan, Studio City, and Brian Wright, Bronx SIU. And well, you guessed, we all thought it was going to be Sean Kanan. I thought for sure.
Yeah.
If not him, I thought maybe Brian White might get it because there was really good scenes. But I thought Sean Kanan just should have gotten it. But congratulations. I mean, Christos, he's now the youngest Emmy-winning producer, the youngest person to win 5 Emmys. And I mean, I know Christos, I love Gregory and all them. I know shades them, but I will bring a little shade just saying that I wonder, because it's not their fault he won. I just wonder with the voters, he seems to win over and over again. So I just wonder after a while, what's that about, I guess. I just wonder.
Well, is there anything
Bay
he doesn't do on the Bay?
Sorry?
Is there anything he doesn't do on the Bay? Does he also do the hair and makeup and build the sets?
Does everything, right? It's everything. Yeah, does everything. I'm sorry, Lacretia, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say the Bay, you know, for the longest time sort of won because it was one of the few things that, you know, had continued and was always there. And you sort of get, just like with anything, they're like, oh yeah, this must be good. Like, it is one of those things, did people actually watch everything kind of like they're supposed to and really give it a fair shot? Because yeah, like you say, no shade to the Bay, but it's been around. Let's like maybe try some of these new ones. Because yeah, I was with you, Sean, and Studio City as a whole, to me, I thought should have gotten more awards. Like it was perfect.
Which it did the ISAs, it did really well. But
yeah.
And Sean won. But it's like his portrayal as this kind of aging actor, you know, and just behind the scenes. I mean, it's so good. I mean, everything is just so, he and his facial expressions, everything he does, just to me, he's such an underrated actor. He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good at it. He's our friend, you know, we know him and he's our friend, and we've interviewed him several times and he's great. And but again, I mean, the Bay is good. The Bay does top quality stuff. That's why it's known. But I just wonder with the voting process, if some people see the show and they know the show, is that why it's safer to, you know, give it to him than to give it one of the other ones? I guess I don't know. I mean, I just wonder. I don't know. But he's good. He's good. So what do you think? What do you think, Jeremy? What do you think? Because we both kind of said our.
Well, I really thought that, like I said, I mean, no shade to him, but I mean, I really thought that if it didn't go to Sean Kanan, and I definitely would have given it to Brian White for that the PTSD moment that they showed. I don't watch Bronx SIU a lot, but I did check it out, and I thought that scene was just so terrifying, you know, and he was really good in it. But, you know, I really thought Sean Kanan had it locked, and I thought he also would have gotten it because, you know, we were talking about wanting to give awards to older people, etc. And not that he's older. I mean, but he's not, as the show points out, he's not a 20-something. And I thought that he would have won because a lot of the actors watching the show who were voting for it could relate to exactly what he was going through.
There's that too. I thought the industry part of it. It's like usually people like that. You go, oh, okay, I see what I mean. Yeah.
And that's why I wondered why Studio City didn't get more awards, because to me, it's almost like perfect for people who are voting because everybody in the industry can relate to the themes of that show somehow. And they really touched on so much reality in it, which I guess maybe is not as typical on the soaps in one way, but, you know, more like the old school Agnes Nixon way.
I agree.
I have a question I wanted to throw out. Do you think that Studio City might have gotten, well, with the exception of Tristan Rogers, who also was on the Bay, Studio City got a little bit ignored because some of the people really didn't think of it as a real series, but just one episode broken up or one like 40-minute pilot broken up into 6 episodes that didn't feel as much of a series like the Bay does.
Interesting. Well, that's I don't know either. But that's the problem, right? When they had that kerfuffle a couple of years ago about what constitutes an episode. Remember the whole thing with Patrika and Jennifer and all that stuff that happened. And I'm friends with all of them, so I know all the stuff was going down. But like, because they said the rules were kind of murky. They're like, you submit 2 episodes, right? But is an episode 9 minutes versus an episode that's a half hour or 20 minutes or it's an hour or so? Like, that's a good question. I wonder if voters were like, yeah, let's get into the mind of who voted. And I don't know what the voters, as I said, it's hard for me to do digital drama because I'm not well versed in the voting phase. I know in daytime drama, we all 3 of us know, but that one I'm not well versed in.
Well, I know that like with something like After Forever and King Esther, they do have short, sometimes only 8 to 9 minute episodes, but they feel very self-contained.
Yeah.
whereas the Studio City did feel like just one episode that was split up into 6 or 8 sections.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know what Emmy voters look for. That's kind of the nebulous part. What do they look at? Because it is a straight. It's still, but still, by definition, it's still 6 episodes. You know what I mean? Like, it's still episodes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what. I don't know what it is. That's a good question. Good point. I have no idea. Maybe it was too real for folks. Maybe it was too industry. That could happen too, right? Maybe it was too industry for folks. They like, ooh, I want to vote for that. I don't know. Good question. I don't know. And then they went on to the writers' roundtable. Unfortunately, that didn't work. Some didn't have sound. My girl Michelle talked. Michelle came in. She talked. Look cute. It was a little awkward. But the nominees for that were After Forever, The Bay, East Siders, Issa Rae Presents King Esther, and Studio City. And After Forever won. Michael Slade. It is good writing. I have no shade to that at all. I thought Studio City should got it too. They're both really good. After Forever was good. They had good writing. They had really good writing.
Okay. Doc Webb was so overlooked for even the nomination.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the shows, that was, I discovered it while I was preparing for the show, and it had this great, if you're a fan of Black Mirror or a fan of these old TV shows like Night Gallery, Twilight Zone, etc., and combine the two. You had the self-contained part of the show, but you also had an overall story arc. And like Black Mirror, it talks about how technology, kind of like Gothic horror technology stories. It was great. I loved it. I literally watched it on a binge on Saturday afternoon. I thought it was great. I thought it was really overlooked because it was sharp writing on both the anthology part of it as well as the overriding story.
And that's the hardest part, is sticking with an anthology. That's why, digital series is kind of better for that. You see the success of Black Mirror, and as someone who was a big fan of stuff like Night Gallery and Twilight Zone, that's something they've had trouble doing, like over with CBS sometimes. We've got a new season out, and again, because they're individual episodes, it can always be a struggle. But yeah, that's one thing I'm seeing a little bit better with on digital. And yeah, like that show actually was pretty good. You're like, hey.
The Dark Web was good. I discovered ISAs. I discovered it. I was like, what is this? Like, I didn't even know they were doing this, and it was really well done. But I know that kind of genre sometimes, almost like comedy genres, they're hard to look at them a certain way. It's like it's anything horror-esque or this mystery-esque, those kind of things are always hard to get people to get it. And the writing was good. You're right, the writing was good. It was really good. It didn't even get a nomination. So it's.
Oh, that said, of the nominees that were on there, I do go for After Forever, deserving it. I know there was just so much in the writing, real emotional resonance to everything Kevin Spirtus's character was going through, as well as those of his friends and of his parents-in-law, new partner. Yeah.
No, you picked it. You actually picked After Forever, and you got it. You said you wanted to win. You thought the Bay may win, and you mentioned Dark Web before. So, but you won that one. You got that one. So you were two so far. You got. Yeah, you have 2 more. You got also, but you got 4 total. But yeah, the snubs are. I'm going to mention a snub in this category that I'm pissed about. Oh no, it's later on. But I'll tell you who should have won this next category. This is where the shade begins. Supporting actress.
Who did you pick?
Let me read the nominees, and then we're all chomping at the bit. Let me read the nominees first, because I got some shade on that one. Tina Banko, The Rehearsal. Vianne Cox, Indoor Boys. Patricia Darbo, Studio City. Carolyn Hennessy, Studio City. Janet Hubert, Issa Rae Presents King Esther. And Tina Banko won for The Rehearsal. I'll let you guys go first before I tell you what I think. Anyone go first.
Well, the fact that, you had Patricia and Carolyn both nominated, both killed it in Studio City, and neither one of them won. To me, that was the only competition, was the 2 of them. Because, and I'm just like, okay. Because, Carolyn in that role, I have loved Carolyn for the longest time.
For a long time, too.
Yeah, and it's just like that role. The fact that she told me, a lot of it's based on Gloria Monty and Jill Farren Phelps and all this, and I'm like, oh, all the work that went into that role. I'm just like, how did she not win? How?
With me, I really thought Patricia Dabo had it as a lock.
Yeah.
Okay. And plus, with her being the governor of the organization, everybody knows who she is. I thought it would have been nice for her to win to compensate for all that stuff that happened a few years back when she had to give it back.
Yes.
I thought beyond that, those two scenes that she did, the one where she shows up at the fan signing event wanting money and chewing them up, but then that absolutely heartbreaking casting couch story. When I was watching, I said, I think this is going to, especially because it's topical, it's timely, and she nailed it. I mean, it wasn't just, the show doing a topical story. This was her character's experience, and, and she and Sean Kanan were really in that moment. And I thought she deserved it.
Yeah, that's where I thought she might have won over Carolyn. But like I say, that was really the category to me. I'm like, what's with this other stuff?
These other chicks.
Yeah.
Again, no shade to Tina.
I mean, no shade. Yeah.
Congratulations to her. I don't know her. Congratulations to her. But I'll tell you something. So I'm with both of you. So the ISAs, they tied. So on the ISAs, they tied for supporting actress, Carolyn and Patricia. And to me, that was a true tie. They both played such distinct characters that everybody could totally relate to and feel for. And Carolyn, I agree with Lacretia. Carolyn, if she had won, I would have been happy. I would have been fine.
Yeah.
I thought Patricia had it down. I mean, I got teary-eyed just watching the clip. And Sean was there pound for pound. He was in that scene with her. And and the inflection of her voice when she goes, when she's telling the story and actually uses lowers her voice. And the guy says, don't you want to be famous? It's just and people, I mean, I know she can do drama. I know she can. But a lot of folks just see her as a comedian. She's so good at it. She's so good. But she really is. And, again, we know Patricia. I know Patricia. I'm friends with her. She can do it all. And I thought that at least this role, they showed how she can do it all. So I thought this encompasses what an Emmy performance is. It really does. So to me, well, I'm with you. Both they could have tied. Either one should have won. I'm upset. So I'm going to state that I'm just I don't understand why. I don't know what the voters saw. I don't know what they saw, what they didn't see. But I'm just
Could I also add one person I really thought got overlooked in this category was Anita Gillette for After Forever. I know that what's his name, Lenny Walpe, got the nomination for Best Supporting Actor playing the man who passed away's father. But I thought that Anita Gillette as the mother was also, and they gave us some interesting stuff to do where you would think instead of being the mother who thinks that her son's lover has to hang on to the past, she's there saying, oh my God, this is horrible. This apartment is the exact same as when our son died. What's wrong with this guy? And I thought that and when you realize too, I forgot how long she's been in the business, but I thought that, if she had been in the race, I still would have voted for Patricia, but I think it would have been a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I agree. And on a side note, I did really like King Esther. I binge watched it. I loved it. It's very New Orleans, very different. And Jenna Huber did a great job. The first Aunt Viv from,
Yeah.
It's good to see her back, and she was good. Yeah. I don't want to give any shade because she was good in it. I just think Patricia and Carolyn stronger. They're just stronger.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just here. They tried the director roundtable, didn't really work out either. Another sound issue, very awkward. Best directing team for digital drama: The Bay, Bronx SIU, Dark Web, Issa Rae Presents King Esther, and Studio City. And The Bay won, but I feel like this was a very strong category. I think directing-wise, all five were good. I really couldn't. I mean, and you chose The Bay will probably win. So Gerry, you were right. Dark Web is wanting to win. So it was a strong category. It was very strong. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, aside from the Dark Web not winning, I'm perfectly happy. I thought that The Bay did a lot of really good scenery. It looks gorgeous. I like their aerial shots. And at times, it actually almost looks like The Bold and the Beautiful, the way they shoot to the, outside and then go indoor. But they also, I got to tell you, they did their dark night, scenes, or the night scenes were at night. They did well. Yeah. They edited together well. And I also like the fact that all the places, probably because they didn't look like sets, they looked real. I think they probably are.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
So, but it was good. I thought to me it was a strong category. All five, great direction. Then we come to Outstanding Supporting Actor, which makes me smile. William Belli and Eastsiders, Letha Burke and Eastsiders, Tristan Rogers, Studio City, Lenny Wolfe in After Forever, and my buddy Greg Nazarian in Venice. And the winner was Tristan Rogers. So happy to have him win. I mean, again, another strong category. I think all 5 were really good. I mean, I was like, and I'm friends with Tristan and Gregory, so I thought, okay. And the fact that William got nominated, that was it was great he got nominated. He did so much more with that role than it could have been happened. So it was all strong. But I'm happy. And Tristan said it's 50 years he's been in the business. He got an Emmy. I'm like, again, for the old guys. I'm like, yeah. I'm there. But he was good in it. He was good. I mean, it wasn't just like he was an old guy. He was good in it as Doc in Studio City. What do you guys think?
Well, I was rooting for William Belli. I thought that because I've seen William Belli do his drag persona in different commercials and YouTube bits, and does it completely over the top as a caricature. But this show got to add so much more emotional depth, and I think that he definitely helped Lynn Shay win her award. Those scenes between them were amazing, and he really gave a lot of depth and dignity to this character, and I really like that. I was happy to see Tristan Rogers win. I've been a big fan of his. I think we're coming up on his 40th anniversary of starting with General Hospital.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't think we are. I think next year.
No, I think it's this year. Didn't it debut in 1980? Because that's when they started the whole Ice Princess. Because Luke and Laura.
Here's the thing. So I interviewed him recently. It's on my YouTube channel, JLG Media. I can't remember.
Okay.
Either you're right or I can. He said he was up for Mad Max. So every year Mad Max was in production, he took General Hospital instead. He was almost Mad Max, but he gave it to Mel Gibson. He went to General Hospital instead. So was that 80 or 80? I can't remember because Mad Max came out in 81, I think. So he would have been production in 80, I think. So whatever year that was, that's when he came on General Hospital.
Yeah, because he was. I remember that. Well, I know Luke and Laura got married in 81, and that was after the Ice Princess saga. So we go back, and if it wasn't late 80, it was early 81. But I thought it was 1980.
Folks. This is what we got to do.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
I was like, okay.
It says 81.
Okay, Max. I asked him about it because he said, "Yeah, I was up for the role, Mad Max." Like, you're up for Mad Max? I'm like, what? He's Australian, obviously. I thought, we should see if he played Mad Max. It would be very interesting to hear see Tristan Rogers, a young Tristan Rogers, play Mad Max. But anyway, so 81. So I knew it was around that time period.
Okay.
So you're right. It's coming up. It's like next year. It's coming up.
Yeah.
But anyway, as you were saying, but you're happy to see him.
Yeah, I thought also what was great was, because on the Bay, I'm not saying he's playing a variation on, Robert Scorpio, but he's the head chief of police, etc. But Studio 54 gave him a chance to do something you really hadn't seen, and with him being sick. And I remember the last time we saw him play sick was on Poor Charles at Night, when they played the whole storyline where Robert Scorpio got cancer. But I thought that there was just something about his role in Studio 54 that just resonated, and I love that scene with Sean Kanan when he's basically is, you're my son. I don't care what your mother says about who the bio dad is. You're my son. It was just a great moment.
I agree.
Yeah, and his scenes with Sarah Jory Brown. I mean, oh man. And that's the thing is usually supporting actor is sort of the strongest category, whether any award show, because those are the people who are literally bringing it. They're supporting. And yeah, but Tristan Rogers, I can't believe it's taken him this long to get an Emmy, but what a thing to get an Emmy for. Like, this is some of his best work.
Totally agree.
How many times I think he's only been nominated just a few times on General Hospital. Yeah. And I'm not sure if he's nominated for Y&R.
And he's so good opposite every person he plays with. I mean, he's good with Jess Walton on YR. He's good against Finola Hughes and everybody. He's good. He's good against everyone he's with. I love him with Michael Easton. I love their dynamic. I mean, he's so good. He's like a comfort food. He comes into a scene. It's going to taste delicious. It's going to be good. He's very consistent in his acting. But he's good. When him and John J. York get together as the Scorpio brothers, it's hilarious. Like, it's
him and Jeannie. Like, that to me is an underrated duo. Like, the two of them. I mean, you know, on YNR and on
Yes.
General Hospital.
You're right.
I mean,
When
I
he
kind
was-
of forgot about Jeannie on there, and I was like,
That's
wait
right.
a minute, yeah.
They were married. They were,
Yeah.
they're Kane's
Yeah.
parents. Yeah.
Parents, yeah.
Well, I know when I went to see Jeannie, one of those meet and greets for fans, I asked her if there was anybody besides Luke that she ever really, and Scotty, that she ever wanted Laura to get paired up with, and she said Robert Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the chemistry, but
They have
him
it.
and Olivia do too. And I'm
They
like, oh man,
do.
him and Lisa. And I'm like,
I know.
sorry, Ned.
Sorry, the
Oh, yeah.
COVID virus ruining everything. 'Cause I was like, there's something going on there. Because even Ned was like, excuse me.
yeah.
Virus. But yeah, no, Robert. I mean, of course I know Tristan personally, and him and his wife are just lovely, and he's so hilarious. He's very down to earth, very Australian, that cheeky sense of humor. But I'm just glad for him. I love watching him. He's good at anything he's in. I love watching him. He's really good.
Oh, one quick, did you see him when he did Love Boat with Susan Lucci?
No.
No,
like,
but I need to go find this now. I'm
Yeah,
looking that up
exactly.
right now to
I
watch.
know. I was like, what? What?
Yeah. They were paired up on Love Boat back in 1980. I saw it when it debuted. Yeah, that's what my college life was like. I was in watching Solid Gold and Love Boat.
Solid Gold. It looks like gold. No, I did watch Love Boat back in the day, but I mean, there's so many episodes. I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure I saw it probably, but you know.
It's on YouTube, so like I just found it. I'll be watching that when we get off here because I love how much Adam and Dr. Drew are talking about rewatching The Love Boat now, and I'm like,
Really?
I gotta figure out where it's streaming because yeah, they're like,
So
it's like, oh, what a train wreck it was back then.
I love it. Oh, my God.
I love the theme song.
MeTV.
What?
I catch it on MeTV now.
Oh, MeTV.
Oh, okay.
I know. I do love the theme. So I sing it all the time. I love it.
Yeah.
All the time. Yes, I love to run. I love it. Yes. Okay. Okay. The last category. Before I even say who the nominees are and who the winner is, I said it. If you guys didn't see, I did an interview with Sarah Joy Brown, which was the interview of my life. I was happy to have her on my show. You can catch it on YouTube, JLJ Media. She couldn't have been lovelier. She was just the bomb. We talked before the show, after the show. We're becoming friends. She's, to me, one of the best actresses of daytime ever. She's just good in everything she does. I said it on our show, the snub of the century. Why was she not nominated in this category? Why was she not nominated? Yeah. Why was she not nominated in this category? I just want to say that. She should have been on the list. She was so good in this. She was so good. I mean, when she's on screen, I could watch her read the phone book, like so to speak. She's good in everything. It's a travesty of justice. But the nominees: Best Actress in Digital Drama, Rowan Amon for Issa Rae Presents King Esther, Mary Beth Evans, The Bay, Jade Harlow, The Bay, Katie Huffman, After Forever, and Shanti Laurie for Bronx SIU. And I was like, so the winner was Jade Harlow for The Bay. Her speech was hilarious, kind of funny, but if anybody in that category should have got it, and I agree with Gerry, it should have been Katie Huffman or Rowan Amon, just because it was such a different kind of role. We don't see it to trans, we don't see it, and she was good. Wasn't because she was trans, she was really good. But I know that Scott and Rowan said, just being nominated obviously they'll always be Emmy nominated. That's a big, like Laverne Cox, they're all Emmy nominated. Mm-hmm. So you get Jade Harlow, The Bay. So I mean, the scenes where she's good in it. I mean, yeah, no shade.
Yeah, she's a good actress. Yeah.
Actress, I guess.
It's weird because I thought this season on The Bay just completely belonged to Mary Beth Evans and her kidnapping storyline.
Right.
I think next season, as Jade Harlow's character moves into her trial, when she's shooting her fiance, I think that will probably would be better for her earning an Emmy. I think that while I was thrilled with Rowan Amon being nominated for political reasons, I think that maybe part of what might have worked against her was that it was a difficult role to watch. It was very real, etc., but it was uncomfortable. A lot of things that she was dealing with, saying, she was so perfect with even the way she moved around. There was such discomfort. It was difficult, and that may have turned some other people off. And I thought Katie Huffman on After Forever, I thought she had kind of a luck, although I don't know if she really belonged in the Best Actress category. because I mean, it didn't. I mean, she was the strongest female in the show, but I didn't think of her character, who wasn't in every episode, as being best actress. But what she did with her material was great. Plus, she got to sing a few times, which was always nice to hear her sing.
Yes. So I agree. It was the category was okay. I mean, I don't know if they were all the best actress, but it was okay. And I thought Katie might just take it just because. Also, I just thought, After Forever is Emmy loved in the past. So I mean, from last season. So I thought, well, maybe she'll get it because of that too. But of course, the Bay, of course.
Yeah.
And the Bay won. You guys don't understand that the Bay did win Best Digital Drama for the 5th time. So it wins. It's and it is well produced. It's a well-oiled machine. Gregory does a great job. It's a well-oiled machine. And this season was, with the Mary Beth storyline, character storyline, it was big. It was good. It was big. It was showy. It was big. It was bold. I use the word bold and beautiful. It was bold. And you saw all your favorite daytime actors. And I'm friends with Ron Moss and and Christos and Gregory, and I know all of them over there. I know all those folks over there. I mean, it's they're big for a reason. I think Emmy voters like it. And obviously Gregory and them are well liked. So they like them. And we know the Emmys aren't always. Sometimes it's political. Sometimes it's who you know. So we know this in all the Emmys. I mean, the daytime, nighttime, it's not always the best. Sometimes it is many things. And sometimes they get it right. And sometimes they do get it right. You're like, there you go. So that's the thing about the Emmys. And we all know these. That's how it's been since the beginning of time, right?
Yeah. But one thing I do have to give them a big thumbs up for is level of diversity that I don't see in a lot of other award shows.
True.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it has to do with, well, people were always saying, why aren't more African-American actors nominated for Oscars or Emmys? And a lot of people are saying, well, it has to do with the fact that not enough movies that star African-American actors are being nominated. And you see that the key that why all these people were nominated is the digital dramas have allowed so many types of actors and people to be featured in shows that they say, oh yeah, these people are really good and they can act. So it does lead to more nominations.
That's true. And the thing is, Gregory J. Martin, I believe he's Puerto Rican and maybe Italian or something. So I mean, he's a person who he's mixed himself. Dewey Jarrett he's a black man who's in Brooklyn. I mean, he's from New Orleans. So you're right. Even the people behind the scenes are people that are from different races, different backgrounds. They're writing interesting stories. Digital dramas are now. They're not necessarily the future or the past. They are now. They're literally now. They're reflecting what's happening. I have my friends Corey Knott, my friend Anthony Anderson, when they're all out there, Darrell Anthony, they're all out there creating stuff. And now Casey Hutchison and Candace Mack, doing our show. There's a lot of stuff happening that's really diverse in digital drama. It's not this little cheap cable access shit anymore, right?
Well, and that's sort of the thing that, Hollywood loves to tout itself is very woke and really doing the right things, the networks, but that's all, fodder a lot of times. Now, I'm not saying that of everyone in, all the major networks, but the one thing I will say that digital drama is that it is giving those opportunities. They are making these things, but they're the redheaded stepchild. They're the one left to live of this ship. And like that's doing the right things, doing the best stuff, and yet still looked upon in this group. But again, there's a reason we all like daytime, because it's always kind of done this, maybe not the best because having to deal with networks at times, but at the same time, these are all things based off people who have been a part of daytime, and they saw that that's what people really wanted, and they're making it, and they're giving opportunities to people that maybe don't check the Hollywood box.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Jerry, you want to say?
And I was also thinking, well, also in terms of diversity, it was nice to see an Australian actor finally win an award. And so, okay. But one of the things I was saying about the Bay's success here is that of all the shows that you were looking at, it was also one of the ones that looked the most like a daytime soap opera.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was all of Dark Web looked like something from Netflix, and Bronx SIU, well, kind of looked a lot like Law and Order SVU.
Yes.
And you know, it's so. But it was this was the one that looked most like the daytime soap that maybe a lot of people were voting for and kind of gravitated towards that comfort level with that.
It's good production. The Bay does good production. I mean, they just do. It's like Young and the Restless. Young and the Restless, beautiful. They're known for their production. No matter how you feel the storylines or what's going on, they look gorgeous. I mean, both shows are filmed beautifully, and I've been to both sets, and I mean, they're tiny and small. They make them good. And like you said, but both people always laugh. I love the B-roll where they're like sweeping shots of Los Angeles and downtown or the Getty Museum, and then they go to the set. I love that Bone Beautiful does that. As an added touch. Other soaps don't do that. General Hospital doesn't do that. Days of Our Lives doesn't do that. They're literally on set all the time. General Hospital tries to go outside sometimes. Our friend Frank, we know how he feels about that. Yeah. But it looks cheesy. It looks cheesy. Where Born Beautiful, it doesn't look cheesy, and the Bay doesn't look cheesy. It looks for real.
Well, because one thing Bold used to do that did look cheesy, especially since they did such beautiful B-roll series, is when people are flying off places, and they used to have the little graphic of the airplane moving across a map of the United States. I'm like, you know, I think we can just get a little subtitle saying like wherever they are.
Yes. So, but I think, but right, but I think with these people who are they're actually doing amazing work. As I said, the directing category to me was one of the toughest. I mean, all the shows that were nominated look good. They all look good. That's part of direction.
And I can imagine their budgets because unlike the daytime soaps, you know, they don't have a whole bunch of sponsors. I don't know how the Bay, you know, makes its money. You know, maybe I don't know how much they licensed it to Amazon Prime. You know,
that's the thing. I think no matter what we say about this, all digital dramas deserve a round of applause because they got made, and they do. They got made, and a lot of them have shoestring budgets. I mean, they're like literally a shoestring. And I've been a person on many of my shows. I accentuate a lot and spot a lot of digital dramas. I just always have, from Monogamy to series to Conscious Jessica Wu to all these shows, and they're all out there. And they tell you, they said Broken Out Love and all these shows. They tell you, I'm calling friends up. You know, I had to borrow lights or borrow money or do a GoFundMe. Like it's not easy. I mean, it's just not easy. I mean, it's a lot of hard work. So regardless of who I feel should have won, not won, nominated, I applaud all of them for actually creating series and getting them out there. However to get them out there, whether it's on YouTube or get them on Amazon Prime or Netflix or wherever they're getting them from, it's not easy. I mean, I'm producing stuff and it's not. I know it's not easy at all.
Should I feel guilty for watching some of them for free on YouTube?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, for this purposes, I was like, they're getting spotlighted from us talking about them. So folks, go out there and find them on their proper channels if you have to, I guess. But we were doing research, so I did a few things to myself. But I support them, of course, in the Bay. But yes, but I think it was one of those things that I give them props for actually creating something and getting it out there. You gotta get out there, and it's good. So that is our show for today. We did it. Thanks for doing this. We're back again. So, you know, I'm not sure. I think they're still up there. I think you can watch them anytime, I think now, right? I think the actual digital drama is up there, I think. I believe the regular ceremony is up there also on their Emmys.tv. I think it is. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it, but you can take a look if you want to see them. Lacretia, where can they find you on the interwebs?
Since I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
And Gerry, where can they find you?
Well, aside from Facebook and you know, eBay, one day I will have a good answer for you. I'll get a platform. That's my next goal.
Gerry. Get a platform.
Yes. Right. When I think platform, I'm still thinking like the shoes from the 70s.
Just working it out. Platform shoes. I had some platform tennis shoes when I was a kid. Another story. And I'm James Lott Jr. We're all James Lott Jr.'s are at James Lott Jr. everywhere across the board. JLJ Media is on YouTube. JLJ Media is on every streaming service. This is the Daytime Emmy Specials podcast, and they are everywhere. Where you find podcasts, just type those in under JLJ Media. Like, subscribe, and comment. We love the comments, of course. I'm sure I'll have some on this one. That's fine. I can take it. We can take it. You just give it to us. You think. To all the nominees and all the winners, congratulations. Either way, because you actually made a difference. And now there's a digital drama series category, digital drama category for all your shows. So all you guys out there creating shows, keep doing it. Keep doing this diversity. Keep taking chances. We need you. I know right now the virus has stopped a lot of stuff. I know some folks are getting creative, so we'll see how that goes between this time and next year. May have some Zoom series out there. Who knows? At this point. But thanks for watching us. We're glad to be here. And shout out to Walker Ragsdale. Could make it. Everyone, please wash your hands, wear a mask, and have compassion for each other.